Magandang gabi everyone. Good evening. Magandang, Tuesday evening. Magandang umaga para sa mga nandito po sa North America. Ito po si Dr. Iris, ang inyo pong lingkod na mag magbibigay na naman ng kaalaman tungkol po sa mga pagkain dapat nating iwasan. So, ang topic natin po for today is, alinsunod sa atin pong low carb lifestyle is yun pong ating mga pagkain na dapat iwasan. Marami po tayong nakikita sa mga comments natin sa atin pong mga pages, various platforms, Filipino Success Movement, sa mga kaibigan po natin dyan sa Global TV. At sa sarili ko pong platforms, marami yung mga nagtatanong about yung mga nagsisimula pa lamang mag-adapt nitong lifestyle na ito. Ano-ano nga ba yung mga pagkain na dapat iwasan? So, kung bago lang po kayo sa channel namin, we have yun pong ating food guide. So, we have the food guide, and the purpose of the food guide is really to help you to start yung inyong journey ng weight loss, ng inyong pagiging healthier. Iba't ibang tao, iba't iba yung dahilan kung bakit nandito. Yung mga ibang tao, they're doing this journey kasi gusto nilang mag-lose ng weight. Yung iba naman are doing this journey kasi meron silang mga medical conditions na gusto nilang i-reverse. Ito po yung mga katulad ng high blood pressure, diabetes, lalo na po ngayon, sa panahon ng pandemic. Ang hirap magkasakit. You cannot afford to go to the hospitals kasi syempre punong-puno yung mga hospitals ngayon ng mga COVID. At also, syempre, it really is costly. Napakamahal pong magkasakit. So if we can address it in the preventative part of it, yung part na iiwasan sana natin magkasakit or potentially, naturally nating ma-reverse yung ating mga medical conditions, then mas maigi po. Kasi pag natural, di syempre walang less side effects, right? And the other thing is you want to sustain it over time. So, yun yung kagandahan ng natural na pamamaraan po ng pag-address ng ating mga sakit. Yun po yung sustainability niya. Unlike po kasi yung medications, syempre meron yung cost. So, meron siyang financial effect sa atin pong pamilya. At the same time, maraming adverse effects ang medications. Kahit nga po yung mga over-the-counter lang na mga Tylenol, paracetamol, mga ganyan, meron po siyang mga side effects din. So, kung maaari natin gawin in a natural way, why not? Kung kayo naman ay nandito dahil lamang sa weight loss na dahilan, then that's also good news. Kasi ito nga yung isa sa mga pinakamagandang pamamaraan dahil natural siya. Sino na po dito ang naka-experience ng either themselves or may kakilala sila na nagkaroon ng bad effect, nag-try ng mga diet pills, diet tea, mga ganun po, supplements. These things usually will have some form of side effect. In fact, nakakalungkot kasi recently, I just lost one very, very young patient. So, 21 years old lang po siya. Actually, hindi pa umabot kasi on the eve of her birthday, so magto-21 na siya bukas, namatay siya on that night. And I didn't know that she was taking diet pills. So, she bought some diet pills. So, dito po ito sa Canada. She bought some diet pills na sa dark web. So, hindi, dark web kasi sells yung mga illegal na mga substances na hindi mo normally mabibili sa mga reputable websites. So, sa dark web nila binebenta. So, itong pasyente ko na ito, she didn't tell anyone na meron pala siyang desire na mag-lose ng weight. Certainly, hindi niya sa akin nasabi. And that's why I'm so very sad because this is one of the things that I am specializing in, yung weight loss medicine. And unfortunately, nag-take siya nung gamot na yun. I think umabot ng 1 month na yata siya nagtitake and finally umabot sa toxic dose. And alam niyo po, hindi na naisalba yung buhay niya even though, alam niyo dito, mabilis yung response. So pagtawag nilang 911, dumating yung ambulance, hindi na talaga umabot. So it's very sad, and I know that karamihan ng mga kabataan natin, and this is why talagang ipinu-push ko itong advocacy na ito to educate. Although hindi ko man kayo pwedeng doktorin kasi siyempre on a social media platform, I cannot be a doctor, but to provide you with information para kayo ay magkaroon ng awareness na merong tamang pamamaraan, and then eventually you can seek that help from qualified professionals. Hindi po yung mga ano lang diyan na kung sino-sino lang na wala naman talagang tamang kaalaman, dahil in that way it's not gonna be safe. Certainly ayoko na mangyari sa inyo, lalo na mga kabataan natin, yung nangyari sa pasyente ko na sayang, hindi na umabot, 21 na siya the next day, and she passed away. And so the parents were devastated, obviously. Walang nakakaalam na ganun pala yung ginagawa niya, and hindi ito lang ang kwento ng dangers of using diet pills, diet slimming teas. I know sometimes umaabot tayo sa point of desperation. Parang feeling mo walang magiging effective, wala kang effective na pamamaraan to lose weight, but there actually is a very effective and safe, as long as kayo po ay magpasuri na stable ang inyong mga medical condition. So, pwedeng-pwede po ito sa mga kahit na mayroong mga sakit. Like, ang daming nagtatanong dyan sa comments, pwede po ba ito sa high blood? Pwede ba ito sa diabetes? Pwede ba ito, meron akong high cholesterol? Pwede ba ito? In fact, itong klase ng lifestyle na ito ay naaangkop talaga para sa mga ganun, yung tinatawag nating metabolic syndromes. Ito yung pagsasama-sama ng malaking tiyan, yung pagtaba, nandun yung may diabetes or pre-diabetes, so yun yung mga sugar problems, nandun yung high cholesterol, very common, andun yung mataas na presyon. So ito pong mga metabolic syndrome na ito talaga yung ina-address ng ating low-carb lifestyle. So pinupush ko talaga ito because it is a safe and natural and sustainable way to live a healthier life. And hindi lang yan, pag-uusapan natin in a future broadcast, yung effect din niya sa longevity, yung pong ating paghaba ng ating buhay and what fasting can do for your longevity. So, ngayon, ang topic natin is really yung mga pagkain dapat iwasan. So, I will please put in in the comment yung mga tanongin nyo about certain food, but what I'll do is I'll flash a few visuals para po makita ninyo, Sorry. So, here we are. So, mga pagkain dapat iwasan. So here is a visual, galing po ito sa diet doctor. Isa po akong registered diet doctor physician. And so kung makikita nyo dito, ito nag-provide sila ng very good visual. Ano po? Yung mga numbers na yan, these are the net carbs per cup nitong mga prutas na ito. So it's a very simple visual. It just shows dito sa bandang kaliwa, kung saan nakikita nyo ang mga mas mababang numbers, are the types of fruit that will give you less net carb. And dito sa kanan, makikita ninyo yung mga uri ng prutas na magbibigay sa inyo ng mas maraming carbs. So, isa-isay natin. So, yung mga dapat iwasan will be the things that are on the right. So, yung mga nasa kanan po natin, tingnan po ninyo yan. Kasi a lot of people think, I think, an important concept to understand, guys, kasi daming nagtatanong, maraming mga nagpo-post dun po sa aming platform, yung aming Level Up Wellness Community. Kung hindi pa kayo miyembro, please join. Ito po, hanapin yung Level Up Wellness Community. Ipopost dyan ni Ronaldin yung link para po makita nyo doon yung mga postings ng pagkain. Doon, some of the people will post and I will decline the post. Bakit nadi-decline yung post? Dahil yung mga pinopost, like kanina may nag-post ng tungkol sa dates. So I had to decline that because yung dates, for example, di ba, fruits kasi are nature's candy. Fruits are nature's candy. So sa low-carb lifestyle, kailangan po, meron tayong awareness na although marami pong benefits ang fruits, totoo po yan. Pero kung kayo yung nagsisimula pa lamang sa inyong journey, right? Because fruits are known to have antioxidants. So marami siyang effect na panglaban sa mga for example, cancer, mga ganyan. However, kung kayo ay nagsisimula pa lamang sa journey na ito and kailangan nyo talaga mag-lose weight. For example, dami nyo pang, your goal is to lose like 20 kilos, then it's important to stick as much as possible to the guideline. So itong guideline po na ito yung low carb guideline natin. And dito kung makikita nyo, yung green and yellow, kung wala pa kayo nito, paki-download na lang po, nandun yan sa loob ng Level Up Wellness Community. Yung green and yellow, ito yung mga pagkain na pwede nyong kainin. And dito, may mga prutas na nakalista which are relatively lower in net carbs. Dito sa pula will be all the other things. So, kung yung pagkain, like yung prutas po na yun at nagsisimula pa lang kayo sa journey nyo and you really have lots to lose, it's quite important to stick to the ones in the green and the yellow para po matulungan kayo to get into ketosis right away. Ketosis is yung proseso kung saan ang katawan ninyo ay sanay ng gumamit ng fat, ng taba, bilang fuel. And you will not reach that kung kayo ay patuloy na kumakain ng mga pagkain na nandito sa kulay pula. So, yung mga pagkain na nandito sa kulay pula, and maibalik natin yan doon sa ating visual about the fruits. So, kung ang lagi ninyong kinakain, for example, in a day, let's say, dalawang bananas kayo. So, look at this. Banana pa lang, isa will be 20. So, yung ikalawang banana mo will be already 40 grams net carbs. Kung matatandaan ang definition natin, ano nga ba yung definition natin ng ating degrees of carb, low carb regimen? So, makikita natin dito na kung gusto natin talagang mag-low carb, mas maganda mag-focus tayo dito sa ketogenic and moderate, which is ketogenic is under 20 grams. So, ito yung pinaka-left. Moderate is 20 to 50 grams. So, ang low-carb lifestyle natin is including itong dalawa na ito, ketogenic and moderate. Liberal will be 50 to 100. So, imagine, yung itong dalawang banana po ninyo, dalawang bananas, so 40. So, saan na agad kayo? So, sa bananas pa lang, hindi lang naman bananas ang kakainin nyo the whole day. Sa bananas pa lang, nandyan na kayo agad sa moderate. Right? So, yung capacity ng katawan ninyo na gamitin ang fat as fuel, mawawala po yun. Kasi you flooded it with a high glucose content. So, pag maraming nagsisirculate na glucose, tatandaan po na masistimulate si boss insulin. Ano po? So, the more that you stimulate boss insulin, nasa mga videos ko po yan, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, para na akong sirang plaka, but it's really the insulin. It is the insulin that's the problem. The more that you stimulate insulin, ano po mangyayari? The more you produce fat. So, kung panay kain kayo ng mga matataas na net carb, for example, banana nga, akala ng marami, prutas yan, healthy yan eh. But you're eating too much. So may difference po if you're already at target weight and kayo ay nandito na sa moderate, let's say moderate, 20 to 50 grams. Tapos maintenance phase na lang kayo. So someone like me, for example, who exercise a lot, I exercise regularly, and stable yung weight ko, then someone like me, as long as I stay below 50 grams per day, I can have maybe half a banana. I can have a full banana. Pwede rin naman, 20 grams yun. But keeping in mind that the rest of my carbs will be 30 grams na lamang to make up for a total of 50 grams per day. So sa atin pong community, ay nagpapublish tayo doon itong mga net carb content para matulungan kayo malaman kung alin nga yung merong mga high, mga medium and low net carb content. So balikan natin yung prutas natin. So yung mga prutas to avoid. Prutas to avoid will be lahat ng nasa kanan. So kahit yung, it doesn't mean nga na you cannot eat them. You just always have to take into account, number one, yung phase ng journey mo. Kung nagsisimula ka pa nga lang at you have 20, 30 kilos to lose, or napakatindi ng iyong diabetes, or napakatindi ng iyong high blood pressure, then you wouldn't want to be stimulating insulin, right? Kasi the more that you stimulate insulin, the more na nandun yung capacity mo na mag-store ng fat, and when you have more fat storage, naandun yung problema. Kung bakit tumataas yung blood pressure, bakit taas-taas ng asukal, bakit yung cholesterol, ganon. Okay, so the food on the left, so hindi dito kasama yung berries kasi berries are on our moderate list. So yung berries are okay. Again, be mindful of the amount. And kung titingnan ninyo dito sa kaliwa, so coconut meat is okay, lemon, peach, cantaloupe, watermelon, okay itong mga ito. But again, caution, hindi talaga siya nakalagay doon sa ating food guide. I may have to update the food guide, but really, it's a caution kasi pag nasobrahan yan, madaling masobrahan eh. Like yung pakwan, sino ba yung kakain lang ng, 2-3 tablespoon ng pakwan? Normally, you eat that in bigger quantities. So, yung net carb na yun will increase. So, good to know po, So again, sa mga mahilig sa prutas dyan, na nagsisimula pa lang sa kanilang low-carb journey and want to keep yung net carbs below 50 grams, be very, very mindful of yung amount ng mga ito. Kasi it can really tip you over and put you out of ketosis. So grapes, bananas, and anything that's preserved, right? And so, punta naman tayo sa, what about yung mga veggies? Tingnan natin. Veggies. Ayan. So, itong mga nandito are I always emphasize to you yung above ground veggies. Okay na okay po yung mga above ground, yung mga green leafy, lahat po yan ay nandito sa ating listahan. So they're okay. Ngayon, ano yung mga kailangan nating iwasan? So ito yun. Mga kailangan nating iwasan will be yung mga matataas na nandito sa yan. So look at this. Kahit po yung, di ba po, may mga nagsasabi, kamote is healthy. It's healthier than potato and all that kasi mas mababa yung glycemic index niya. But the thing is, again, to look at the net carb content. Kapag kayo'y nagsisimula pa lamang sa journey ninyo, try not to have too much kasi ang below ground vegetables, di po ba? So above ground, yung nasa taas ng lupa, below ground, yung mga tumutubo sa ilalim, they tend to be very starchy. So starch is a form of sugar. Kasi pag na-breakdown po yung starch na yan, glucose pa rin. Although it's a slower release form, pero po, sugar pa rin siya. So even though meron siyang mga health benefits, pero kung gusto nyo talaga mag-strictly low carb, mas mainam pong iwasan ito pong mga below ground vegetables kasi very, very starchy. So have a look again. So sweet potatoes, parsnips are a little bit higher. Carrots are okay, so 7. Onions, ang onions kasi di ba po may sugar kaya nga matamis ang onion pag nakakaramelize. But if you're only eating a portion of it kasi hindi mo naman kakainin yung buong onion in one sitting, right? Nakasama siya sa pagluluto, that's fine. So just keep note of these, so sweet potatoes, parsnips, and try to stay with above ground vegetables. So mapunta naman tayo sa favorite ng mga tao, which is drinks. Tingnan natin yung mga drinks. So drinks, medyo maliit yung visual natin. So on the left will be yung mga drinks na pwede kasi mababa yung kanilang net carb, and as pumupunta yung arrow sa kanan, you will see na tumataas yung mga net carb niya. So, tingnan po natin isa-isa, So, lahat ng mga pwede, di syempre tubig. 0 calories ang tubig. Pwede yung water, pwede yung tea na mga walang asukal, walang additive. Now, itong diet soda, note this one, although 0 yan, we don't really recommend, kasi highly processed, empty calories, panay chemicals. So, on the kind of middle there, you see yung coconut water and vegetable juice. So, sa ating pong low-carb lifestyle, mas maganda po to eat your veggies sana on its natural form rather than to juice them. Kasi pag na-juice nyo sila, na-release yung sugar kasi na-breakdown yung fiber. So, pag ininom nyo, kahit smoothie for example, pag ininom nyo yan, mas mabilis yung spike ng insulin. Gawa po ng mabilis na release kasi nadurog na siya, nadurog from the pagbe-blend, ano po. So if you can eat it natural in its unprocessed form, the better. So fruits and veggies. And obviously, when you go more to the right, makikita mo yung more higher net carb type of drinks. So, ayan, for example, as I was telling you about smoothie, for example, kung kinain mo yung berries on its own, mababa yung net carb noon. But if you make it into a smoothie, nadurog siya, na-release yung sugar, right away, ang taas ng spike ng insulin noon, 36. Para na siyang soft drinks. Soft drinks is 39. And, yung mga usong, yung mga mahilig dyan, Starbucks. So, Frappuccino, kasi they put corn syrup sa mga ganyan, right? So, corn syrup, vitamin water, ayan, 32. And look at this, mga milkshake, oh my, 60. Kasi nilalagyan nila yan ng mga corn syrup, mga ganon, yung very synthetic, very, very synthetic na uri ng mga asukal nilalagay nila dyan. So, corn syrup, high fructose syrup, mga ganun po. So, to summarize, kung pwedeng tubig na lang po. Kasi talagang safe na safe ang tubig. Pwede nyong lagyan lamang ng lemon, kalamansi, huwag nyong lalagyan ng any form of sugar. Meron tayo again sa ating food guide, a list of all the accepted sweeteners. Nandito yata. Sweeteners. Ayan, nandyan siya. So, yeah, on here, sa pinakauna. And so, kung lalagyan nyo yung tubig nyo niyan, preferably not, kasi nga, usually, we advocate for less processed food. Pero kung talagang paminsan-minsan gusto nyo konting-konti lang na hint ng katamisan, ito yung mga allowed lang na sweeteners. But we really don't promote the use of sweeteners. Bakit? Kasi nati-trigger ang sugar addiction, sugar craving. Gusto nga natin mag-get off the sugar addiction cycle. So, if possible, walang sweetener, mas maganda. Okay, so now, balik tayo dito sa, ayan, so ito naman, so yan, ito lang parang ito mga common snacks na pwede po ninyong maaring, you're snacking on these things. So, tingnan po ninyo yung kanilang mga net carb content. So, again, vitamin water, maglalabas tayo. In our next broadcast, we'll be learning about label reading. Turuan ko kayong mag-read ng label kung bakit itong mga vitamin water na ito, yung mga Gatorade, yung mga ganon, electrolytes are not really advisable to have. Kasi nga po, minsan nakatago, magaling yung mga manufacturers, tinatago nila yung sugar, hindi obvious. Pero if you know how to read labels, then you'll know na merong hidden sugar doon and that you shouldn't buy it. And minsan sa community natin, so kung hindi pa kayo member, please join. Sa community natin, may mga nagtatanong, pinipicturean yung drinks nila, pwede daw ba ito? And so, na-educate sila na ito palang mga binibili na ito based on the label. So, label reading, hindi pala ito magandang bilhin. At it's not a good thing to have on a low-carb regimen. So, ano pa bang nandito sa atin? So, ito naman, tingnan lang natin ito. Ayan. So, this one, tingnan ninyo, 3 piraso ng tinapay will already give you 50 grams of net carbs. Itong kakapiranggot na spaghetti na ito, and I don't think people eat spaghetti this way, right? People will have more than this sa kanilang plate. And dagdag pa dyan, pag Filipino version ng spaghetti, syempre matamis yun, may asukal. So imagine, yun pa lamang po ay wala na kayo sa low carb. Ayan, tingnan ninyo. Remember, moderate is 20 to 50 grams. If you wanna go ketogenic, it's 20 grams. So, yun pa lamang na yun, na mga serving pa lang na yun, labas na agad kayo sa low carb. 3 piraso ng medium potatoes is already 50 grams. Kakapiranggot na kanin is already 50 grams. So, yan pa lamang, hindi na tayo makaka-achieve ng ketosis. Gusto nga natin, matuto ang katawan natin, gumamit ng taba as fuel. Because that's the only way you're really gonna lose weight, is when your body starts to use fat as fuel. And it will never do that if you continue to bombard it with insulin-stimulating food. Kasi patuloy ang production ng glucose. So as long as glucose is there, your body's not going to use your fat. Hindi niya gagamitin yung fat storage. Kaya nga, sa atin pong low-carb lifestyle we advocate for, pinaka-effective, ito po, ketogenic, less than 20 or 20. Moderate is also okay, but syempre mas effective ang ketogenic. And so, moving on, let's see what else do we have here. So pinag-usapan na natin yung prutas, pinag-usapan na natin yung veggies, pinag-usapan na natin yung drinks. Ngayon naman, fats and sauces. So ito naman, fats and sauces. Tingnan natin. So on the left again are the fats and sauces. Kasi kailangan natin po ng fat, sa atin pong low-carb lifestyle, yung fat na component kasi yung magbibigay din sa atin ng feeling na tayo'y satisfied sa pagkain natin. It balances it out. Syempre, pag nagsisimula pa lang kayo sa journey ninyo, yung amount of fat with less calories is the best for you. Although hindi tayo talaga nagka-calorie counting. Pero if you have a really long way to go, then be mindful of that. But otherwise, if you are on maintenance phase, then it's certainly okay to have the fat. And pwede po ito sa may high cholesterol. Naglabas ako ng video about this. Pakipanood na lang po sa YouTube. Yung may high cholesterol dyan na concerned about starting the low-carb diet dahil takot sa fat. Pakipanood na lang po yun. So here you will see the ones on the left are less yung kanilang net carbs. So heavy cream, for example, will have 3. So certainly butter, 0. Olive oil, coconut oil, 0. Andyan po yung mayonnaise natin, yung mga mahilig sa mga ibang cuisine like Béarnaise sauce. So this is a French sauce. And you have here, for example, Tabasco, yung mga mahilig sa mga mga condiments, guacamole, soy sauce. So again, read the label kasi every brand will be different. And then on the right side, tingnan nyo po, ayan, look at the jam. Wow, 69 grams right away. Jam pa lang. Yung jam pa lamang na ginamit ninyo, yung mga, pa lang, nanilagay pa sa tinapay. Snack, toast with jam. Labas na agad kayo sa ketosis. And then you have barbecue sauce, kasi syempre matamis yun. Unless, of course, you make barbecue sauce that's made with yung sweeteners na approved natin. And then things like maple syrup, yung mga mahilig dyan sa pancake. Pancake pa lamang if made with white flour. So meron tayong mga keto pancake. Actually, naglabas nga ako ng recipe ng keto pancake. Nandun po sa ating Level Up Wellness community yun. And then you can make your own maple syrup. But if you're relying on the usual recipe ng pancake and maple syrup, napakataas po. Yun pa lamang, ayan na, labas na kayo ng ketosis. So, yan po yung mga usual na bawal kainin. Again, yan, mga staple food natin mga Filipinos. Yan, good to know. 50 grams agad yung mga yan. And again, this one. So, mga usual snacks na dapat nating i-consider. And of course, ayan, again, another visual. So, soda juice, look at that. Chocolate bar, 60. Candy, 70. Kapiranggut na candy, anti-calories, 70 grams. Kaya naman po, paano i-burn yung fat, right? Dami-daming asukal. Bumabaha ng asukal ang dugo. Paano i-burn yung fat? Cannot do it. So, if you're eating mainly these things, and this is common sa ating culture, Filipino culture, may handaan. Anong handa? Soda. Di po ba? Tinapay. May spaghetti na. Ang kapartner, tinapay. So, yung pa lamang po, that one meal, right? Pansit. Pagkain pansit. Anong partner? Tinapay. So, yun pa lamang, based on this visual, certainly, binabaha na ng asukal yung katawan ninyo. So, you won't be able to burn fat. So, just a good visual po, And don't worry, I'm gonna post this doon sa ating, sa ating community. So, join po kayo. Again, join our Level Up Wellness community. Nandito po yung link. Ilalagay natin yung link dyan sa taas. And yeah, so I will end here for today. Tingnan natin yung mga question. I will answer maybe 1 or 2 questions, and then abangan na lang po ninyo yung next live. Okay, pakiabangan na lang. I'm gonna go live again this week. So pakiabangan po ninyo. Let's have a look here. Anong mga questions natin dito? Okay. Okay, so si Miss Leilani Mendiola, if hindi pa po kayo member ng Level Up Wellness Community, paki-join po, Miss Leilani. Nandoon po yung guide kung paano magsimula, paano yung mga tamang pamamaraan ng pagkain, and of course, meron din tayong discussion doon about exercise. Mga community members natin ay very active. Nakakatuwa po, yung nag-exercise sila, different forms of exercise, yoga, running, hiking, mga ganun po. Nakakatuwa kasi it's always good to combine. Although sa weight loss, the good news is good news. Sa mga medyo hindi gaanong inclined mag-exercise, the good news is you can actually lose weight without exercising. Pero lagi ko pong ina-advocate yung exercise. Alam nyo naman, I always push for exercising dahil po sa mga benefits nito sa ating cardiovascular health, sa ating aging, yung mga gusto mga anti-aging dyan, exercise po is the key. One of the big keys. Ano po? So, tingnan po natin dito. Mga friends natin from Jensen, hello. So, tingnan natin. Naghahanap ako ng question na pwede kong... Ayan. So, si Miss Marge, thank you for sharing. Ang issue kasi dito, Miss Marge, with the contraceptive pills, ay it affects our hormones. So, yung hormonal effect nun will trigger appetite increase. And then, of course, yung redistribution ng body fat natin, water content, and then of course may effect din siya talaga sa pressure. So, yeah, thank you for that. Sino pong may question dito hinahanap ko? Sino po? Oh, thank you, Mr. Reese. Salamat po na marami. Join po kayo sa community. Ito, okay lang po ba yung mga fruits ihalo sa water at inumin pag nagfa-fasting? So, great question, Miss Casey Lou. Okay lang po ito kung pampa-flavor lang. So for example, what do I mean? So kunyari meron kayong tubig, fasting time ninyo, right? So hindi kayo kakain. Meron kayong tubig, gusto nyo lang mag-infuse ng konting flavor. So let's say lalagyan nyo ng berries. Basta hindi nyo kakainin yung berries at infuse lang yung flavor, that's fine. Kasi wala ka namang ma-release na sugar. Pwede nyo lagyan ng lemon, pwede ng mint, yung mga ganun po, pampalasa, okay lang. Basta ito po ay hindi kakainin. Yun yung important doon. Kasi baka pag ininom yun, sabay kain ng prutas, hindi na kayo fasting. Kasi meron ng asukal yon, right? Ito naman ang tanong. Thank you for that, Miss Casey. Miss Rubelinda Digia. Tofu, yes. Tofu is fine. Nandun po siya sa listahan natin. So, nandun siya sa moderate part ng listahan natin. Sino pa po ang may tanong? Sabi ni Abeliana Cassia, yeah, it is anti-aging. Napakaraming effects niya. Anti-cancer, anti-aging, because it's all the hormonal effects of exercise. Nakakatulong din siya sa may mga depressed mood dahil nga hormones. So exercise has so many benefits. Napakarami po talagang benefits. Kaya nga I really, really promote it lagi. I always post yung mga exercise videos ko to encourage you, to inspire you na, it's something that you can really do kahit kayo'y busy. Ako po yung Reyna ng busy. I'm very, very busy. Nanay, nagtatrabaho and all that. But I really carve out the time to exercise kasi napakaraming health benefits niya. Nakakaiwas ng dementia. So yung memory loss, yung cancer po. Kasi you release your natural anti-cancer cells when you exercise. Na syempre nandun din yung toning your body, yung anti-aging, you look younger, you have more energy, mas nare-repair yung mga cells mo pag nag-exercise ka. And then of course, you build better stability sa inyo pong makakaiwas sa sakit, yung mga sakit sa likod, kasukasuan, naiiwasan po yan kasi your muscles are always active. So, napaka-importante po ng exercise. Sabi ni Marlene, if mag-blender po, ano kaya palit sa fruits? Well, again, if you can eat it, Marlene, in a natural form, whole form, kahit yung veggies, mas mabagal yung release niya ng insulin. Having said that, kung magbe-blender ka ng mga above ground vegetables, so kunyari blender mo pipino, with lemon, kale, kung walang kale dyan, ano bang meron sa Pilipinas? So pipino, lemon, I'm not so sure. Spinach, meron siguro dyan, ano? Celery. So yung mga yun, and maybe a little bit of carrots. If mag-blender ka nun, that's still okay kasi mababa ang net carb nun dahil above ground veggies yun, except yung carrot, below ground na siya. So, if you can eat that in natural form, mas maigi. Pero kung gusto mong i-blender, okay lang. Stick to your low carb. Pakitingin yung ating guide. And pag alam mo na higher net carb siya, katulad ng mga prutas, like mango, pineapple, ganyan, then iwasan mong i-blend. Kasi the more na dudurugin mo siya, ang bilis ng release ng sugar nun, kainin mo na lang ng buo para mabagal yung pag-release. And again, be mindful. You can still eat your fruits, but be mindful of the amount and the total net carb for the day. Kasi tatandaan, yung 50 grams na limit na yun, it's for the whole day. So kung 2 beses ka kumakain, you're on TMAD, 2 meals a day, then each meal should be kind of 25-25 or whatever combo you want. Basta ang suma total niya is 50 pa rin. Right? So, yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Cauliflower rice is pretty good. Cauliflower, in fact, is part of our green list. So, okay na okay po yan. Thank you for asking, Miss Bella. Honey is in our stop list kasi honey has really high sugar content. So, kung kayo ay nagsisimula pa lamang, and also the thing is, if you are putting in sweet tasting stuff, kahit nga yung mga artificial sweeteners, di ba? Kahit zero yun. So, artificial sweeteners are zero carb, pero ayaw pa rin nating i-promote masyado kasi nagtitrigger siya nung sweet craving. Kasi may hormonal effect po yung sweetness. Yun yung nagtitrigger ng dopamine, yung reward hormone. And so, tinatry natin siyang iwasan masyado sa ating low-carb diet. And more so yung honey, kasi honey actually contains sugar. So, pag nagsisimula talaga, it's best not to pag sa ating low-carb lifestyle. Nagbawas na ng mangga daw si Marlene. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Okay, so name ng community, it's Level Up Wellness Community. So, yan po. Level Up Wellness Community, paki-join na lamang po. I think Marlene will be, Ronaldin will post yung link dyan. Pakihanap po itong comment. Can you please, Ronaldin or team member, can you comment on her comment para makita niya yung Level Up Wellness Community? So, mysteries, great question. So again, knowing na 20 po yung net carb ni saging, it depends on your goal. Kung ketogenic kayo, yung isang piraso ng saging pa lang na yun is already your ceiling. Kasi ketogenic is 20 po, ano? Kung kayo ay moderate, 20 to 50 grams, then yung 20 grams na yun ng isang saging is already a big part of your 50-gram cutoff. So it depends on your level ng low carb. Kung kayo talaga strictly keto, I don't recommend na kumain kayo ng saging. Kasi even the one piece is already 20. Hindi naman lang isang saging kakainin nyo sa buong araw. It's not recommended kasi hindi siya balanced. Okay? Yes, so Mr. or Miss Absent, yes po, it is really highly recommended sa mga tao. Again, have clearance from your doctor po, but it is really highly recommended sa mga may metabolic syndrome. So high blood pressure, diabetes, pre-diabetes, high cholesterol, yung may mga malalaking midsection dito, highly recommended po ang low carb and fasting. So parehas po yan, highly recommended, fasting and low carb. Yan. So, yun lamang po siguro. So ito yung link natin. Join our community. Paki-click na lang po sa mga interesado. Yes. And so I'm gonna see you again po. Please stand by sa susunod nating broadcast this week. Mga katanungan, ihanda na po. And let me know in the comment anong gusto ninyong topic tungkol po sa pagpapapayat. And I will see kung alin yung pinaka nire-request and yun yung pag-uusapan natin. Okay, one last question here. Homemade ginger lemon juice, pwedeng-pwede po, basta walang asukal, pwedeng-pwede po yan. Ginger and lemon are very good additives sa water and should be good. You're good to go with lemon ginger. Okay, yun lang po mga ka-FSM. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.